John, it's a New Year's Eve. Looking back on 2020, how would you sum up this season for the Broncos?
Well, obviously disappointing. I think that, we had higher expectations and, thought we'd win more football games, at least get in the hunt. So I think, getting off the slow start we did hurt us, and then the injuries that we got. But, I think, it was disappointing. I think we had high hopes. But then again, with everything that's gone on, we knew, offensively, we were going to be tremendously young. No off season, no preseason, that we were going to be a little bit behind the eight ball, and it showed early. But, there were some bright spots, some good things, some flashes that we did see. So there's some good positive things coming out that, hopefully we can use going into next year.
I was going to say this time of year, you look ahead, you look for some promising signs. You feel encouraged about the direction, though, and heading into 2021?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that, we have to. That's the only thing we can do. And I think that, when we look at what we have, when you look roster wise, we kind of look, where we are turnover ratio wise, dead last in the league, and just knowing that there's no way you can win football games, turn the ball up as many times as we had. Plus, we haven't done a good job getting turnovers either. So the mix of both those has put us behind the eight ball. So, but you look at the roster, there's a lot of good young football players, we believe, and Drew showed some flashes. Obviously, he's been very inconsistent, but showed some flashes, and we still have high hopes for Drew that, with a good offseason, a lot of hard work this offseason, a lot of film study, that, he can come back and be a very good quarterback in this league.
And Drew led the comeback last week, once again, got the game tied.
That's a part of that. You see, quarterback, that's his responsibility, to figure out how to win football games. And I think we've seen Drew do that a couple times this year. He did against the Chargers earlier in the year when we were able to beat him 31-3 at Mile High. So, he's got that ability. And I think that, that's a good sign for Drew. And the fact that, it's a good confidence builder for the rest of the team to know that, as long as the game's close, we got a chance to win it, no matter how much time's left.
But does that get your blood going, though, a little bit, watching up in the boots, though?
It does, yeah. But I'm once I finally hit 60, I've kind of lost that, and the fact that it's been so long ago since I played. So think about playing it now, and it's like, oh boy, that'd be a little rough.
This is the Raiders week, though. I was going to ask you about some of your favorite memories playing them. Any good stories you could share about, maybe some trash talking with Howie Long or something?
Yeah, there always has been. I think that, back in the 80s, they were very good. And, had the Stork, Ted Hendricks, a lot of good games that we played against them. I remember we happened to play, and I can't remember what year it was. We had to play them the last game of the year and then turn around and go out and back out there and play them in the first week of the playoffs. And so to play back-to-back games against them, unfortunately, we lost both of them. But for some reason, that's what sticks in my mind. But there was always a physical game. You knew going in, they were always going to take a cheap shot. They were always going to do everything they could to, walk the line when it came down to the rules. And so you had to be on guard and be ready to go.
You feel like that rivalry was a little more intense back when you played compared to nowadays?
Well, no, I think it's still an intense. Obviously, I think the game's changed a little bit. I mean, there's, what you can do. The rules are protecting the players a little bit more now than they used to. And so therefore, the game's not as physical as it used to be because there is more protection as far as, especially the quarterbacks, but also, wide receivers. Jack Tatum, was a guy in the middle that used to intimidate. And so that used to be a big part of the game, which is no longer there. So the rivalry's still there. It's just the late hits and the cheap shots has been cleaned up quite a bit.
When you're ready to buy a house, a mortgage from U.S. Bank could help make it possible. And we'll be with you every step of the way. See about pre-qualifying today. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
Last one for you, John, here. It's the final game of the year for the Broncos. Do you feel like a win this weekend could help wash some of the taste out of this season and get some positive momentum heading into the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would. I think we're always looking to try to play with more consistency and be smarter with the football and not turn the ball over and give ourselves a chance to win. So I think that that's been our hope every week, is that we be consistent, play to our potential, and put a full game together and really against a good football team too, because the Raiders are a good football team. They're very, very good on the offensive side. So we're going to have our hands full, but it'd be nice to end the year with a good, solid football game and come out with a win to where, it sends us into the off season with a better taste in our mouth.
All right, John. Well, I appreciate your time. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Phil. You too.